right. Well, welcome to the One Consciousness class. And it's a review class. And it's really nice to take another look at what we have been studying, even though the idea of review is a bit like weird, maybe. If there's no such thing as past, why would you want to review anything? So reviewing is okay. If we have missed anything, we can take a look at it now. And so today I have a bit of a different approach. I was very systematic so far, but now it's like, okay, now I'm still doing this very systematic, but in a different way. I found suddenly a lot of question marks in the review, and I'd like, okay, let's pick those out, like the questions being asked by Joel self, and picked out by the Acropolis Books publisher. So that's what we're going to do today, and take another look at that, at the questions that are in there, because they point to really great parts of the text, and they will bring us. They will give us everything anyway. See, that's the beauty of these books of Joel and any say Christ mind literature, if you want, is that one sentence can already be completely revealing to you, and that would be the only thing that you need at a certain point. So it's like, don't go for quantity, but go for quality. Just take time to really look at one of the sentences instead of the whole book, or the 30 or 40 books that Joel wrote. So it's more like sit with one sentence. Sometimes it brings you more than anything. And that's what I love about what we're doing today too. So it's just short questions. It's not a lot of text. It is just, wow, that's really profound. That's really awesome. That's so powerful. If I let myself be, say, affected by that, it is just totally amazing. And so did I scroll through the text by a little search engine of, um, Acrobat Reader. And so it brought me to a lot of things. To start off, I want to start almost with like a meditation kind of quiet moment. And I found some really nice texts, and I took parts of that and put it together. So please be with me in this. It is like super comforting. It brings you right to your alignment with the universe, and it's just lovely. And it's very familiar probably for you guys. All right, here we go. I am with you. I will be with you even unto the end of the world. Drop your burden at my feet. Drop your burden in the assurance that all good is embodied and embraced within your own being. Accept my kingdom and be at peace. There's nothing to be achieved tomorrow. There are no regrets for yesterday. There's only this living now, this moment of rest in me, of confidence in me. I am with you. I will be with you even unto the end of this world. There's only this living now, this moment of rest in me, of confidence in me. So this is our alignment, so to speak. This is where we start off, and which is also the completion. There's nothing to achieve. I say this a lot during these meetings, and it's like, there's nothing to achieve. There's no goal to achieve. Like, it is a realization of the fact that this is accomplished. It is done, so to speak. That's why it doesn't need your it doesn't need your efforts to fix it or anything like that. See, here it is, like the most comforting part in this for me is this: drop your burden into the assurance that all is good, and that all good is embodied and embraced within your being. Like it's not happening anywhere else than in your own being. And this is how we come together. This is how we meet, how we heal, how we love. This is all embodied within your own being. And you don't need to go anywhere for it. You don't need to effortlessly try to strive for something. No, it's accomplished. It is happening here and now. So that's really beautiful. I love that as an alignment to start off and to see, like I said, only this part can all bring you everything in terms of realization of who you really are, and a realization that you're home in heaven, that the kingdom is within you, and that you, all good is already established in you. So the only thing that's being asked of you to have confidence in me, in God, have confidence and wait, like here it says, like this moment of rest in me. So to be still in me, and this me is with a capital M, like it's the me in you, the God in you. So sit with that, rest in that, and breathe that in and relax in that. So you can drop your burdens. You can completely drop everything you ever thought about yourself and about anyone else. No regrets for the past, nothing to achieve in the future. It is just living now. That's the only requirement, living now. And that is because you left everything behind. You have no regrets of the past. You have no goals to achieve in the future. So you can be completely present here and now. So since we cannot come up with any questions after hearing this, I just pick some up part of the text, to have something to do in this class, to take another look at things. So I'll bring my little sheet with the questions. Okay, so here's another instruction of Joel, and I love this too. There's not a question; it's just this one sentence. He says, "If necessary, let us sit in a chair all day and all night, until the Spirit of the Lord is upon us and dwells in us." At least since that is happening in our awareness. So you sit until that is happening in your awareness. Like the Spirit of the Lord is upon you and dwells in you, that's already taken care of. But you being aware of it is a different thing. So if necessary, let us sit in a chair all day and all night until the Spirit of the Lord is upon us and dwells in us. I thought that was a beautiful sentence too. So I don't know what you read in the review, so I would love to hear about that later on. But I picked these questions out of it, and this sentence is just another instruction. Like, no matter what you want this, if you think you don't have the confidence to abide in me, so to speak, then sit and be still. You'll see it will work. Joel did this too in his awakening. He sat for 8 months or so before I had the first experience of it. So it was brought to him in that way. So for you, it is different, and everyone has his own individual experience with it when it starts. When you feel suddenly something shift inside yourself, it's like, oh my God, this must be that. This is that. This is the light coming into me. Suddenly, I'm feeling like connected, or suddenly I feel a relief like I have never have experienced before, or I experience something that is so familiar to me. It feels like I'm home suddenly. I feel my heart melt, and like, oh, that feels so good. I'm so happy to be here, even though it has nothing to do with the place, but it's a place in my mind where I'm very happy with. So basically you're saying like, okay, no matter what, I want this. I want to abide in the stillness. I want to have full confidence in what is given me. And it doesn't matter what I have to do for that or what it takes to get there. I don't care. See, we're just relaxing. We're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. It's just allowing that change to occur to us. It's like a little acclimatization or something. It's like a spiritual acclimatization, getting used to the different frequency of it, allowing that to come into our system, to come closer to us so that it can completely take us and penetrate us. Okay, so the first question: as an individual, I must expect sin, disease, lack, death, war, danger, accident, infection, and contagion, the same as everyone else in this world must expect it as a human individual. If there is any way to be free from such conditions, it must be found through bringing God into my experience. So then the first question is, how is that done? How is that done? See, as a human being, you know the outcome of your frame of reference. That's not like a surprise at all. If you turn on the television, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like you get a review of all these human ideas, all this human frame of reference, and see that if you tap into that frequency, it is like, okay, that's the channel that you choose, and that's exactly what you're going to receive, whether you think you're pretty lucky in your human ways or not. It really doesn't matter. Like you get the whole package, and that is a package of limitation, of disease, disaster, and death in the end, or during. You don't have to wait until that is happening. No, every part of humanness, every part of the human thought pattern is part of that duality, of part of that whole spectrum of ideas. So you can call yourself lucky if that is for a moment. Oh, that looks really good. Now I got this great job with great money and this and that. Or oh, luckily I'm not ill. My neighbor is, but I'm not. So there's always comparison connected to it, and competition and all that. So that is the frame of reference that you don't need any longer, because it's not going to bring you anything except everything that you already know. So then it's a bit like, okay, I have enough experience with that. I'm totally done with that. I don't want it any longer. It makes me sick and tired. I don't want it any longer. So what now? And so this is the question that Joel is asking. It's like, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of my human frame of reference? So that's really great. So this question is really important to ask. How in hell am I going to get out of hell? What is needed for that? I need to put down my burdens. I need to put down my concerns. I have to forgive, no regrets for the past. I have to let bygones be bygones. I have to leave all of that behind. So all my human attachment that I encounter within myself, that I'm still holding tight, or literally tight, um, is something I have to let go of and come into the experience or training of letting my ideas about it go, letting my identification go, leaving all that behind all the time, not engaging in it. So, and then meditation is something that can be totally helpful, because in meditation we sit still. We suddenly see that the mind that is actually, or the chatterbox that is actually producing all these thoughts, is just going on, whether I pay attention to it or not. So I don't need to engage in these thoughts. I don't need to do something with them. And the same with the feelings that are bubbling up. I don't need to do anything with that. Or the emotions that rise. I don't need to do anything with that. I can let them be. I allow them to be there. But I'm not going to engage with it. I'm not going to react upon it. So that they slowly but certainly calm down and be left alone, so to speak. They disappear more into the background. You can still be aware of it, but they're more in the background. So one of the words that I use during meditation is this, like to say to yourself, not this, not this. Like your mind is picking up on ideas, and you say, not this, not this, not this, not this. And you see how you let go of it all the time. Let go, let go, let go. Until you see that there's more space in your mind for something else, which immediately takes over the space that is available. So that's just a very practical way of doing that. And it works really well, because it's like you want your mind something to do. If you cancel out the mind, it will still find something to do. You can't stop it. So give it something to do. Say, like, to every thought, every idea that comes up, just say, not this, not this, during your meditation. Not this, not this. So here's more space. Okay. That's so great. That feels a lot better, doesn't it? Like all this chatter in your mind is done. It's not necessary to listen to anymore, or to identify with as if that is you. No, not anymore. Okay, so here's the next questions. Well, what is it? Where is it? Let me see it. Let me touch it. No, it is a glint in the eye. So whatever this is about, and I just picked it out of the text of the review chapters, and the review of the chapters. It's like it's a glint in the eye. It's something that you cannot hold it. No, it's something that you start to radiate once you have found it, and it is doing something with you. It literally brings in the light in you. And where is it? What is it? Yeah, all these questions. It really does not matter what it is. You're lucky that you have found a way to get to it. And then when you let it yourself be touched by it, that is like, oh my God, that's doing something with you. Suddenly you start to look younger. Suddenly you start to shine, your face starts to shine, and you don't even know why. It's like, that's a given. It's like you feel there's a fundamental click happening, because you are aware of the fact that you are being completely connected to your source. And you thought that you were so lost in your humanness and so disconnected from everything. And here you are in your new being. You're completely connected. You're literally in oneness, walking around, taking that with you wherever you go. So you bring in that light that you carry with you wherever you go. Yeah, it's good to see the glint in your eye, that's for sure. I'm happy that you're here. Okay, so we continue. We have quite some questions to go through. There are a lot of questions in the chapter. So 19, there were 19 questions in the text. So we're not all going to do it. Self-completing God, we walk the earth enveloped in an eternal bomb-proof shelter. We dwell in the secret place of the Most High. Is there such a place? Is it the place at all? Or is it the consciousness of God's presence? See, there's another question. Self-completing God, we walk the earth enveloped in an eternal bomb-proof shelter. We dwell in the secret place of the Most High. Is there such a place? Is it a place at all? Or is it the consciousness of God's presence? So, like we said in the beginning, it's like this is happening in your consciousness. It is about the fact that you are going to be aware that this is your existence and your being. So it is if that's not in your awareness, you can read it for 1,000 times, but it doesn't do anything. So, well, it gives you the opportunity of getting used to the idea that there's a whole different reality connected to you. It has nothing to do with the images you see. It has to do with you as an like a being of God, like a child of God. So where is it? It's happening in your consciousness. If you are aware of it, and you feel the directness of it, you feel you have an experience of direct communication, you know exactly where it is. It has nothing to do with a place, because a place would be connected to a time too. Like it is not to locate. You cannot locate yourself. You don't know where you are. You can, yeah, you can come up with conceptual ideas of living in a certain location, and that's all fine, but it has nothing to do with your true presence, with where you are present, and that is in your consciousness. So consciousness is not defined by a certain size or by a place or by time. And now it is a whole different idea. It is a limitless idea. It's omnipresence. It's being everywhere all the time. It's not limited by time or space. So it's also not bound by it either. So this is all about you in your consciousness. And this is like we use the words and we use the chapters to come to this place that you are going to go one step further than you did before. Suddenly you realize that these are actually not words, but they are actually describing, of giving you the opportunity to have revealed to you your real presence, your real beingness. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so all these words that I'm sharing, it is a direct experience that I'm actually sharing. It's like, oh my God, it's so good to feel this. It's so nice to try to express this in a way that, like, wish that, like, it's really my desire to transfer this, to make this my whole mind confidence, that there's no place in my mind where I don't accept this anymore. So that it is all encompassing, it's complete. So you give me the opportunity to share this idea with you. In that, it becomes stronger in you and in me as well. That is so beautiful about teaching or sharing or demonstrating, however you want to call this. So I come back to the question because I had no idea where I was anymore. I was just temporarily dislocated. Be still, do not pray with words, Joel says. Do not pray with thoughts, be still. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God? Whoa, that's another question. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God? Know ye not that the name of God is I, or I am, and that you are the temple of God only when you have admitted I into your consciousness and held it there secretly, sacredly, gently, peaceably, so that at any moment you can close your eyes and just remember I. Be still. Do not pray with words. No, do not pray with thoughts. Be still. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God? See how much all is connected, like even in the questions that we pose. It's like all of this is about the same thing. It's actually about exactly the same thing. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God? Oh, what a great question. Yes, I would love to remember that. And it might as well happen right now. I am the temple of God. Oh my God. That is happening in me. That is here and now, present within us. See, it's exactly pointing in the same place, even though that's not locatable, but you can definitely experience it. All right. What happens to you in the moment when a person turns to you for help is the secret of healing work. Are you going to try to improve him, or are you going to sit there in the realization of Christhood? That is the crux of the matter. So as soon as your brother comes to you for help and it's like, okay, so how can I be of service today? People will come to you like it's happening during your day. People will come to you. It's like, oh, listen to me. I got this thing going on. It's like, oh my God, what did I get myself into right now? Or what is happening to me? Or what is happening to my family? Oh my God. So people are coming to you with these kind of questions. And what do you do? See that Joel says that's really the crux of the matter. And the crux of the matter then is, are you choosing to trying to improve him, or are you choosing to go within and make a connection with your I, with the Christhood I? See, this is very practical. It is not abracadabra. No, this is mysticism, so to speak, on a daily life matter. Great opportunities to extend yourself as the light. Great opportunities for yourself to remember who you are. That's a great way to look at it. So this is helping you to remember who you are. All these situations, there's a perfect plan behind appearances. They don't happen. It is not that it is happening so that you can help others. No, this is for you to remember who you really are. If you remember your wholeness, you see that whoever came to you is just representing the Christ in you. So, and that's why it's so much fun to be in this healing work, or to have these moments together where we join and where we actually remember who we really are, and not for any other reason than for me to remember who I really am. So there's no credits for it. There's no like I'm really good at it, or you are not so good at it, or anything. There's no comparison connected to it whatsoever. No, this is just for you. So this is only happening in your consciousness. And you bring in the I, so to speak, or you're going to confirm the reality of this human existence with its complete spectrum. Like I said in the beginning, it's complete spectrum. You cannot miss, like it is everything or nothing. So that's something to be aware of, but also to use. So it's, yeah, see it as an experiment. There's a situation coming to you. This is for you always like, oh, that's a red flag to me. A red flag in the sense of I need to remember something here. It is an appearance that comes to me. It's representing something that's happening in my mind. Here we are. Ah, here's the I. Now I remember who I really am. So what on earth can be the problem? What on earth can be the like the dysfunctioning? Or what can be the imperfection? So this is your opportunity to see that disappear. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be white as snow. When? When is this going to happen? Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. When? Well, here you are. When you turn to the recognition of your Christhood, but you say that you might sin again tomorrow. That has nothing to do with it. You may sin tomorrow and the day after and next week too. What counts is that you have turned to the realization of your Christhood. And what Jill was pointing at here is really great because, see, you, as with your human mind is very slippery. And what I mean with that is this. So it always looks for an escape. So you get an instruction about how to do something coming from Christ mind. And you, with your human mind, with your slippery ego mind, so to speak, find a way out of it so that you don't have to apply this or use it because you say to yourself, well, I'm going to sin tomorrow anyway, or maybe next week, or whatever. Like, I'm not perfect at all. So I might as well just skip this whole thing. Like, no, no, no. Wait a minute. Don't do that. No, like there's always a reason not to accept this until there isn't anymore, until you say to yourself, okay, I have had enough. I don't want any alternative. I want the only one alternative, and that is returning to Christ mind. So that is quite something. So, but see, if you have an escape, if you think there's a shortcut to get out of a situation or some kind of trouble by just sneaking back via the back road or something, no, it's not going to work, and you know it. Eventually, you'll come to the point where you realize, oh, I shouldn't have done that. So here you have the opportunity to become aware of like, okay, now there's some pressure on me. There's a real temptation to take a shortcut, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go right through this and offer what I know to be true in terms of I'm going within, connect with my Christhood, and connecting with the I, instead of trying to come up with solutions for myself or others. Okay, so here's from the Middle Path chapter. I call this the middle way. When you set forth on it, you begin to attain the inner faculty that enables you, when a call comes, to disregard the human being with all of his ills and sins and ails, and remember, wait a minute, what am I doing? What is my mission? There's only one Son of God, and that is the Christ. I have nothing to do with the infinite forms and varieties as which it appears. I call this the middle path. When you set forth on it, you begin to attain the inner faculty that enables you, when a call comes, to disregard the human being with all his ails and ills and remember, wait a minute, what am I doing? What is my mission? So that's what I said. Like this is like the little flag that goes up, like the little red flag. Oh, wait a minute. This is a situation. This is pretty new to me. This is a situation where I want to deal with in a different way. I don't want to confirm the disasters of the world anymore or the disasters happening in people's lives, not even my family or friends. So I'm going to stand still for a moment and turn within because all the situations that are coming to me are just invitations to come in touch with who I really am. Like that is my total mission. It became my total mission. So you have so many opportunities during the day to practice that. So and then it's like, okay, yeah, now I slide off to the right, and I went into a story with someone. I tried to give him advice and how to do this and that, and oh my God, my day is lost. No, no, your day is not lost. So you come back to the point where you realize, oh, there's another alternative. I can remember who I really am, and I'm going to use that actively right now. It doesn't matter what happened before. The past is over. It can touch me not. Like it is no excuse. I cannot use it as an excuse to stay in the human sphere, to stay in the human way of thinking. No. So like there's a term being used for that also, like mortalholics. It's like you're being addicted to death, to humanhood. And this is your opportunity to get out of that. But first, you will have to admit, like, oh my God, I'm so addicted to this world and death and sin and all of that. It's like I'm so used to that. I cannot get it out of my system. And then there's the opportunity to use this differently by admitting it. Like I'm completely addicted by it. I'm addicted to it. Uh, it's my habit. It's so habitual for me to do that. But from now on, I will admit that I'm addicted to it and I need help with that. So every situation that comes up, I take a little bit more time for myself and wait and be still instead of responding and reacting and advising. This just out of love for my brother. I do that out of love for myself. I want to give my brother the best so I can receive that for myself too. Someday you will work with the idea of is, and then you will put no labels on anything. It is. What is it? As you meditate from the standpoint of is, the spirit within begins to define what is. So it really doesn't need your help in defining what is. So and this is great. Like, okay, I'll repeat it once more. Someday you will work with the idea of is, and then will put down, you will put no labels on anything. It is. What is it? As you meditate from the standpoint of is, the spirit begins within begins to define what is. So I love this and use this a lot. It's like putting no labels on anything. You feel that you're so upset and you feel that you're so in the middle of something. And now you're not going to connect it to a person, situation, or event, but you put no label on it at all. You don't even know what it is. Before, you might have called it fear, anxiety, or depression, or like heavily emotionally confused, or anything like that. It really doesn't matter. Like, it's so great to take off all the labels of that too. It is just what it is. It isn't like an, yeah, I will not put a word to it, otherwise I'll label it again. So it's like, just let it be. Just let it be. Okay, you go through something. You don't need to define it in order to go through it and let it be changed. So that takes a lot of pressure of the people around you, or yeah, what you think your situations are. So it's also, you don't give it any meaning in that sense. You don't define it. So it is also not connected to it anymore. It's free to be itself. You will see what it is. This great intensity that you're feeling can just change, or it can bring you to a place by you allowing to go to the bottom of it, to really come deeply in touch with what is right underneath, or where you actually end up after going through this. And it's a real essential part of the healing too, not to label things, and not to think it has something to do with your surroundings. No, so this is a great opportunity, and it's a real speed up in your awareness of letting things be as they are, not say stop it by connecting it on a human level. Yeah, you dive right into it. So it might feel a bit scary in the first moments that you do it, but in the end, it is like, no, you have this beautiful energy of this intense energy is just really present in you. And now it is going to bring you to a place where you never were before. Before, you always had to connect it with characteristics, with persons, with situations, or anything like that, with your definitions. And now you're not going to do that in order to end up in a different place where something is revealed to you instead of defined by you. So that's a real opening. That's a real door right there. Well, I might get through this. It's amazing. Where is God? What is God? The heart and soul of the mystical life is an inner experience. No matter what the mode of or method is used, that experience is possible if the basic motive is to discover truth. What is God? What is God? Where is God? So here are another two questions. Where is God? What is God? So without being able to point at a place, we say like, oh, we go inward. Like that's a pretty amazing idea too. Like, we go inward. Like, where's that? You don't even know what that is either, because if you cannot locate yourself, you don't also know what's going inward. Ah, that's interesting. So where's God? Isn't that fun? Where's God? Can you find him? Is he right here? Yeah, he's right here. But where's here? I don't know. I don't need to know. It's right here, and I can experience God through the direct communication that's possible. Well, that's happening here in my consciousness. But where's my consciousness? It's everywhere. Wow. Wow. So these questions are great. What is God? So let that be revealed to you. I don't want to say limited by a definition. So let that be revealed to you. What is God? I don't know what God is. Like, what is God? I really would love to receive an answer on that, a revelation of what God is. What is God? Where can he be found? Hmm, that's a great question, too. Why not travel off to God? Oh, talking about a door. The only door there is the door of consciousness. And the only door for which you are responsible is that door. What do you allow to get past your door? Your consciousness. What do you allow to get past your door? Your consciousness. Question mark. What do you allow to get past your door? Your consciousness. So this is the only perseverance or that you need is in fact being aware that you have a choice, being aware in situations where you find yourself, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I can be still. Yeah, that's an option. I learned to use that. Oh, and it always feels so good because if I think I don't have an option, then it's like the door is locked. I cannot get into anything. No, it's completely tight and it's like contracted and it's absolutely not working. That's when you feel when the door is not open. But when the door is open, there's always space and spaciousness. Like, oh, wait a minute, there's lots of opportunities here. Let's see where we end up, and let's see when I go within what opens up in me. And then you see everything shift. You see your situation shift, or you see what you first saw as a problem suddenly disappear. See, and don't take this as a word from me. Like, don't believe this because I say it, but believe or just see that it works like that by applying it, by using it. It's like, okay, so in the next situation, I will take a look at the idea of having a choice in the situation. I'm in this crazy situation, and I need to get through it. So now I know what happens if I try to intrude upon it. I know when I try to solve it, what happens. And so this is my opportunity to have a different outcome this time, a totally different outcome. So I will just step back and let something new be revealed to me. And it works. It works. It's amazing. It works. There's a lot of things you don't have to do. So you thought that you had to solve the problem, and suddenly the problem has disappeared because it was only for you to let go of it and see that there's no problem at all. So that's the same as what Joel said in the middle of somewhere in the text. Is like, let things be, like take it as is. So let yourself come to the place where you see what is. It doesn't need to be changed. It doesn't need to be fixed. It doesn't need, no, wait a minute. I just connect with what is real by opening my consciousness up to it and see that's an option and something I can actively use. Okay, so these were the questions that I picked up out of the text that I thought it would be really nice to take a look at. So my question to you is, how are you doing? So are we doing okay? Is this working out for you? So what did this actually bring to you? Did it help you to remember who you really are? Did this help to see the options that you have in certain situations that you don't have to solve the problem yourself? I hope so. I hope so. That would be really great. I thought it was lovely to meet each other like this and to be, yeah, these chapters were given to us. It's all free gift, and that's so great. It's like here's something that we can use. Here's the materials that we can use. So we don't select the chapters. No, they were given us. We take a look at them and we really study them and pick out certain pieces and yeah, ponder them and go through them and let them affect us to see that it's bringing us basically everything. So that's so beautiful in this one consciousness series that we did and where you are part of. It's like it's bringing us everything. So it's a great opportunity to keep on studying and to come back to the place to remember I. And the studying is just to say make your consciousness say open to receive this and see that the door can be open all the time. You don't need to close it. It is always an opportunity. It is always working. So I love that about it. All right. Well, thank you so much for being in this class with me, and I hope to see you soon. Maybe during the meditation or the um, practitioner training, or a moment that we sit together just to remember who we are. We can call it a coaching moment or transformational coaching or meditating together. It really doesn't matter what you call it. It is the same thing. Like nothing needs to be achieved. We don't need to go anywhere. It is right here. Nothing to be achieved. We relax deeply into our consciousness. All right. With that, I pass. Thank you so much.